Oh, gotcha.
Oh.
We need to test sound before.
Mine's loud.
That's a good idea.
Maybe talk a little more soft and sensually.
If you have a question, why don't you go to that little
I think
microphone?
I guess
maybe.
it's turned on.
Is it on? I don't know.
That little
Someone
talking
tap
stick.
It's on.
It is.
Okay.
Sweet.
Hey,
so
thank
no
So-
specific setup other than just walk up to the microphone, I guess.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
do it.
So-
Have at it.
That's a good idea.
Or we're just gonna sit here. That's fine too.
So I do owe him an answer to his question, because I said I would. The question was, what was it again? Okay, one part's going to a thrift store.
The question was, how was Computer Gym
Yes,
conceived?
how
by the
was
way?
Computer Gym conceived? Does that work? Is that good?
Yeah.
We see Solid Snake.
It's-
It's a second monitor.
Yeah,
okay.
second monitor.
I can. Oh, for those who don't know, Computer Jim is a character on the THAC channel. He looks similar to me, and we compliment each other all the time on our style. But yeah, no, he's from the future. He's from cyber computer land. So he's pretty cool. Anyway, regardless though, to answer your question, we found this we went to like this thrift store, and we found this old book on, it was like, what was it, 1995?
It was like 1995 internet something.
Yeah, and it talks about like how to get used to the internet, how to cope with it being a part of your life. And we just read it, and it was just really kind of silly. And we just picked it up for funsies, and eventually I just sat there and I was kind of like coming up with things that someone would be teaching this, and I was like, he needs to be from the future.
Yeah.
So it kind of just spawned off of that, and then I started just writing how he, mannerisms and energy, and it was, kind of just built from there. Also, I really like those really old, like, hey, Johnny, what's going on? Not too much, man. I'm just sitting here trying to figure out if I'm going to be able to buy my plane ticket and get my mom some flowers. Don't worry, here's the internet, So I really like all those cheesy stuff, so he reminds me of, like, infomercials and stuff, so, yeah.
Yeah.
Microphone right there.
Yeah, if you guys want to line up, get on the thing, or just raise hands and then go up to the microphone.
Q&A.
Yeah.
We would love to answer your questions.
You have to cue for us to A at you,
Let's see.
Yeah. There we go.
Yay.
This guy. This
Yes!
guy.
Yay.
Yes!
Now
I
you
like
can
it.
all start lining up behind, so you're
Yeah,
not
line up
the one
behind
that
so you don't
walks
got to
up.
be the trendsetters. Yeah.
Hey. So you guys are credited for basically the start of the whole vlogs for Slender Man.
Mm-hmm.
So what was your whole inspiration for starting Marble Hornets?
A create paranormal images thread on the somethingawful.com forums.
Yeah, it was created. The Slender Man was originally created by this guy named Victor Surge, whose real name is Eric. He ousted him.
Yeah.
He just made like a Photoshop one time. It wasn't even called the Slender Man at the time. I think he like retconned that or something.
Yeah, someone else came up with that.
Yeah. So he just like did these pictures, and then people started latching onto it and making their Photoshops, and people made audio recordings, but no one had done video yet. And so I was like, hey, I'm going to school for video. My mom wants me to get a job, and I don't want to. And so I'm just going to do this summer. I'm going to start doing a little short thing for this summer.
Yep.
And I was like, I need help with this. I know Joseph's not doing anything. He's working at a video game store. What do you want to come do a thing?
And I was like, okay.
Yeah. And we.
All right.
He came over to my mom's house with me, and we wrote on these little note cards like, oh, this would be a cool thing to do, and this would be a cool thing to do. And then slowly from that, the operator was birthed. And
Yes.
wasn't called the operator first either.
No. We were just like, we don't like the name Slender Man.
Yeah. So
And also, we changed a whole lot of stuff. Like,
Yeah.
there's no tentacles, there's no kidnapping kids or any of that mess.
or organ bags and
Yeah.
trees, or something like that. I don't know.
Weirdly enough, a lot of things that we came up with are now associated with Slender Man
Yeah.
because we wanted to keep it all immersive and everything, so we can't come out and be like, come on, guys, it's our thing.
Wait, did you say, come on, guys, it's Arthur?
Our thing.
Oh, I think you said Arthur.
Hey,
I was
man,
like, no,
it's
it's the
Arthur,
operator. What are you
guys.
talking about?
It's Arthur.
Oh, no, it's Arthur.
See, that was his original name. It wasn't as menacing.
Yeah, sorry, I let that slip.
Yeah.
It's Arthur. Yeah, that's...
That's the birth of Marble Hornets
that's
and
how
the
it worked.
operator. And
You see, when Joseph and I love each other very much.
Yeah. Thank you
right,
for your
thanks.
question.
Yes.
Will Levitating Dog Torso ever go on tour?
Maybe. Never say never.
Yeah.
Yes.
Levitating Dog Torso was actually a band name that I think I thought of when we were at Applebee's because we were thinking of band to bring it full circle.
Yep.
We were at Applebee's and I don't remember. We were watching. It was like some holiday. It wasn't Thanksgiving, but it was like there's a dog show on, and there's a dog running so fast you couldn't see its legs. It looked like a levitating dog torso, and I was like, hey, that'd be a terrible band name. And then after that, we came up with our other band name, which was Satan's Blue Jeans.
Yeah.
Yep.
So they will definitely be going on tour.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but Levitating Dog Torso, we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah. Let us know if you want it.
Hey.
Hey.
What would you say that Owen Hankinson was like inspired by? Basically, like what was his conception like? What Noah's
Who was
question
who inspired by?
Owen Hankinson.
Owen Hankinson.
Joseph's
yeah.
character.
Yeah. So Owen Hankinson was born out of. That's an actual person's name. That's basically the
A human
entire
being's
story.
name, Yeah.
It was because I went and got my car serviced, and I think we were driving to film one of the entries or something like that.
In Coleman.
And as we were getting out of the car, I saw like a little piece of paper stuck next to the passenger seat, and I pulled it out, and it was like the receipt for the car service, but just at the bottom it just said "Serviced by Owen Hankinson."
Yeah.
And we sort of stored that name away for future use ever
No,
since.
I think we came up with Fix It
Yeah.
straight up right there
Oh,
on
yeah.
the spot. We were like, I'm Owen Hankinson, Fix It.
Owen Hankinson.
Yep. Yeah. I think that's where it was born. It was like I don't know what inch in Marble Hornets it was. I think we were shooting multiple ones there at the time, but it
He
was
basically became fully fleshed out over the course of that day.
yeah, and then
Including tragic backstory.
Yeah.
Everything.
at one point, I don't know if we're still going to do this. At one point, there was the wife was his wife was there, and it was going to be played by Noah in a dress,
Yeah.
like beard and all. But
I am still very comfortable with being in a dress and a beard.
Yeah.
So.
I'm
Also-
more comfortable in a dress than I am in a beard.
Also, the backdrop is an actual photo of my dad's shop. Because I just called my dad and just said, "Hey, can you take a few pictures to use as a background, and we'll see if it works." He was like, "You bet I will," and he sent me like 15.
Tim's dad is the best.
I'm really happy that Tim's dad really likes Owen Hankinson.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I want your dad to cosplay Owen Hankinson.
he probably would. I bet he would.
This is something I've always been a little bit curious about. In Marble Hornets, before the cast all got brutally murdered, what were
Spoilers.
their college courses, college degrees that they were studying?
Oh, but were there majors? Well, obviously, Alex was doing screenwriting.
He was obviously doing plumbing tech. We actually did write that at some point. I think Tim was photography, but he didn't finish college, and so he went to work at a construction something or other.
Yeah,
Jay
he pulled an Office Space.
I don't think we said what Jay was actually. Did we?
I think Jay was also a film student.
Oh yeah. He was. Yeah. I think
They were both. Alex and Jay were in film.
Alex,
student
Jay,
school.
and then Brian. Did. Oh wait, no. I think we said that Tim did music actually.
Did we?
Yeah, I think we did at some point. It was photography or music. I can't remember.
We can change it right now. They
We
don't
can
know.
change it right now.
Get ready.
just
Canon is
lie.
being made right now, guys.
Jay had to have also been filmed because
Yeah.
otherwise Alex would not have trusted him with all those inner workings of the filmmaking process. Otherwise,
and he wouldn't
like
know what a
actual
script supervisor was.
Yeah.
The operator's taking general studies, of course.
Yeah, I think Brian was just a friend. I don't think he was in a class with him at all.
Yeah.
He was just there, as Brian is wont to do.
Sarah was probably like chemical engineering or something.
Yeah, that sounds really sinister.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh gosh, this is tall.
I think it bends down if you grab it. I don't know.
Oh,
There you go.
Crow. I don't mean to be or ask a question that's sentimental, gushy, blah blah blah, but how did it really make you feel once you actually started seeing how many of us loved your works and stuff?
It's still,
Bizarre.
yeah, it's,
Surreal.
yeah, just a thing that we just decided to make one summer. That was originally supposed to go one summer.
Yep.
Then ended up going for exactly 5 years. it's still really mind-blowing that people still come to see us and everything. And then people came to see us when it was going on, too.
Yeah.
It was, I think what Joseph says is it's way better to see people in person than to see a view count go up on a video.
Yeah.
It's like you can't really fathom that number of people, really. But, yeah. It's
But
been
coming
really
here
cool.
and seeing a room full of people asking us questions about internet stuff.
And Applebee's.
It's pretty awesome.
Really appreciate that. You're all really cool. You're the true heroes. Pat yourselves on the back, everyone.
No. Do it.
We're not gonna continue until everyone's patting
Thank
themselves
you.
on the back. Just, come on.
I think a really cool thing too is when you put I think a cool thing is when working on a project, anything, and you put a small little detail that you're like, this will be cool. I don't know if anyone's gonna care, but that'll be great. And then someone goes, my favorite part is when this happened, and it's like, cool, man.
Someone noticed that thing I did.
Exactly.
I
They
like that
notice
part,
the
too.
little things. That's really exciting.
Yeah. Yes.
Does it?
Hey.
Oh, hello.
We love you, THAC. Don't stop. 2 quick questions, though. The first of which I completely forgot. The second is the top.
All right.
What are you were telling a story last year of the first comment you ever got on any Marble Hornets video, which was a vampire.
A vampire?
That yeah. Other than that one, what are your favorite comments that you have ever received in any video, THAC, Marble Hornets, or?
Well, they didn't last for long.
Well, the Marble Hornets ones we disabled immediately.
Yeah. There are still a few that have slipped through. A vampire is the one that really left an impression.
Yeah. I can't say them. I can't
save
say them.
Yeah.
I can say
It's
for
a daytime
videos
panel.
just because those are more recent. I actually remember, but it seems like there's always at least one really standout comment per THAC video. Like there was the one person who said that they showed it to their dad and they just said, "Well, it's better than you doing drugs, I guess." And I want to put that, like, if we ever do a THAC DVD, I want that to be on the back cover there, along with
Our friend in Canada, her mom said, what was, I think the exact quote was, "I don't want you talking to these boys anymore." By the way, she's like 27 or something. Yeah, it's like, oh, okay.
There's a comment on Proper Pancakes that just says, not even chalk chip, and then SMH. And I don't know why, but that cracks
Not
me
even
up.
chalk chip.
Not even chalk chips?
Did you remember your other one? Or no?
I don't remember my other one specifically, but I do have a question in the form of a formal request. I believe I speak on the part of everyone when I say we need a separate upload that is literally 38 hours of happy.
Yeah.
I agree.
I agree.
That is a
They
good
told
idea.
me that, and I was like, I don't think you can actually do that on YouTube. I think it's 10 hours is the max. But-
Well,
Will you guys settle for 10
upload
hours
it
of happy?
3 times and then
Yeah.
make an 8-hour one.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to like step on what you were gonna.
No,
say.
no, it's cool. It's cool. I was gonna say, I really like from the Troy Catches a Football. I like how just that's his punchline. But one of the comments at one point, I go, "Oh man, don't forget to get Snowball Fight 4. But you got to get that now." And again, I think that goes back to like one of those random little things that's within a video. And someone goes, "Oh my God, Snowball Fight 4 is coming out. I got to pre-order that stuff." They're just super excited. And I was just kind of like, cool.
Now that I think about it, my most favorite one on that particular video was, "Am I the only person who noticed all the stuff at the end?"
Oh yeah.
That's all it said.
That was good.
I don't know how to respond to that.
What stuff?
Yeah. Yes.
What was it like writing for Slender: The Arrival?
Interesting.
It had its ups and downs.
Yeah. There's a lot
yes.
that you guys didn't get to see, unfortunately.
Yeah. We wrote something like 20-something pages of like not just dialogue. They didn't really.
Yeah,
want a
it
whole
was
lot of
hardly any
dialogue.
dialogue, which means it was even denser.
Yeah, so it was just laying out the way levels were worked through, the flavor stuff of all the papers and stuff. Well, last time I checked anyway, which was a while ago, all
When
the
it came out.
papers that you like pick up and everything with the writing on them we wrote those. And then some of a few of the things that actually physically happen in the game we wrote, but
We were basically given set pieces and told
make something
with
like,
this.
make transitions between these set pieces,
Yeah.
and there's just multiple things that we wrote that they didn't.
I'm glad you liked it though.
Yeah, that they
I
didn't.
really do.
They didn't use for any for some weird reason other than they just didn't want to. But
Yeah.
whatever.
I feel like
It's
that's
their
probably
game.
not that uncommon of an
Probably
occurrence
not.
though.
Yeah, when you're writing for video games. So
It's not something that I hated.
I'd do it again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd do it with anyone. If he's making a video game here, I'll write it for you. Let's do it.
I was just wondering, what's everyone's dream creative opportunity or project? Like something you want to work on at some point?
Star Wars.
What'd you say? Star Wars?
Yeah.
I was gonna say bad sci-fi, but you know.
No, aim high.
What?
Said
What?
aim high.
Yeah. But yeah, I want to make bad sci-fi, like Mystery Science Theater style sets and everything. Like
Absolutely.
Made with things just stuck to the wall,
Right.
stuff like that.
It's like oh, we found it all at a thrift store. Let's make it.
Yeah, exactly. I want to do that.
The thing I want to do will happen. It's slowly in the works. I have a game in me and I have a book in me, and
You should cut those out.
What's that?
That's really weird.
I got to get the surgery, man. That's just it's in there, you know. But yeah, no. I've already have my story and my game mechanics all set up, and I will talk more about that someday. But yeah, no. I'm very much of a goal-driven person, so I see dreams as go for it, do it, why not? You know what I mean? Like I remember being like 2006, going like, man, I wish I could like animate a cartoon, and it's like, yeah, okay, cool, I did that, and it's like, but I'm still doing that, and I still enjoy doing that, so nothing's stopping you from anything, really, Yeah. So it's a good way to be.
Kaiju.
I kind of wrap that in with
Yeah.
me too. Yeah, like kaiju stuff. That'd be awesome.
That'd be sweet.
Is it still Star Wars?
Yeah.
Okay.
Star Wars is a good answer.
Okay. Yeah. I am also a goal-driven person, and if you have a dream, you just say go for it, like Noah said. Yeah. So
Make a Star Wars.
I'm gonna make a Star Wars.
Make a Star Wars.
I'll just say right now, aren't we all excited to see Tim's Star Wars?
His Star Wars.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go.
make
So
a
it's done. It's done.
Tim,
It's gonna happen,
it's gonna
so.
be Tim Sutton presents
Yeah.
Star Wars.
I want Tim Sutton presents bigger than Star Wars too.
Yeah.
Tim Sutton presents not Star Wars.
Are you guys planning on doing more animations for THAC? And why did you decide to name it Troy Has a Camera?
That's what it
Because
was.
Troy has a
Yeah.
camera.
Because I have one. It's right over there.
Yeah. Hey, it's a true story.
yeah,
And
You'll see.
answer to that question: 1, yes. 2, you're at the
Yes.
right- yes.
Just hold your horses, okay? God.
Yeah. Came to the right place.
I'm really excited that some people have asked me if Earth and You is ever going to come back, and yes,
Yes.
absolutely. I am actually working on it in little bursts now.
Oh yeah.
I really like making that. Hi.
Hi. So I had 3 quick questions. Is that all
Okay.
right?
All right. They're very quick. You
Very
say
quick, son.
So first is, were you guys inspired by any of the classics of the horror genre, like H.P. Lovecraft stories, old movies from like the 1940s, 1950s, in the way that you had the aura and atmosphere of your series?
I think the earliest we went was David Lynch. I think
Yeah,
for us.
there was a lot of Twin Peaks in there, but I mean, lots of little things got sprinkled in there along the way, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's I guess the proper answer is probably. It's hard to nail down what came from where, but probably, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, and second question, we've already discussed like Slender, the Arrival, a lot of those. Like, if you know the game like Hotline Miami, a lot of my friends have compared, and a lot of people that I've looked at reviews have compared the way that like that game has gone with yours, like with your series, because it's this small project that really got off quick, and it really just like stunned everybody. And at the same point, the genre of like those films like Paranormal Activity were skyrocketing. And do you feel any like connection to this skyrocket in this want for this kind of genre? Like
Apparently we do, because there was something in Paranormal Activity 4 that was like taken straight from Marble Hornets, whether intentional or not.
Yeah.
And
yeah, you can see it's in the trailer for that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can't convince me that they didn't take a nod from us there with
Which
that
would
shot.
make sense, because the guy that directed the movie that was based on Marble Hornets was an assistant director on Paranormal Activity. So like, did he just go, oh yeah, these guys that I know do this? They won't care. It's fine. Don't pay them or anything. Yeah, whatever. I like that someone said something about us connected to Hotline Miami, because I love that game.
Oh yeah, I just wanted to know if you felt like proud that you were part of this movement that was almost like this creative movement.
I'm proud of the work we've done.
Yeah. Are you not proud of what happened because of it then? He said like the movement it did. Like
I mean,
created.
when you say movement, are you talking about just in general indie things being able to blow up, or are you talking specifically found footage horror?
I'm talking like in general, yeah, a lot of that like as that game was like how a lot of things blow up. Like, do you support like that? A lot of people
like the
should go out
indie
and do
scene
this?
kind of thing.
Yeah, we like indie stuff. But I guess I feel a little more personal attachment to it than I would if I didn't make Marble Hornets.
Because it's like, hey, because you see those people making stuff and you're like, oh, I know how that is. Yeah.
Indie stuff always comes from a place of creativity, so it's even if it's not yours, it's still like really awesome to see stuff. Like I always get really excited when if it's like a movie or a cartoon or a game that's like it happened because of Kickstarter, and then you actually see the credits and it says this was possible because of you, and they really mean that. Like that really hits home. That's really, really cool, because it's just like, yeah, it all started with an idea and then it happened, So that's always really cool.
Okay, last question, really quick.
And last question, just a little note. Like, so what was a bit about the origin of that one video you made about grapefruit?
Tim and I were,
Yeah, that was the origin of that. Was driving the, I guess, 4-hour drive from our very first con that we'd ever done. It was just me and Troy in the car, and we'd pretty much been awake all weekend, so we were getting a little delirious. And I had come up with a list at one point, just sort of in jest or half in jest, of just random titles for possible comedy shorts, and it was like, well, pick the title first and then figure something out from there.
Tim Touches a Butt was one of them.
Yeah.
Coming
and
2016.
One of those just happened to be Joseph Touches a Grapefruit, and I just said, that one really makes me laugh for some reason. I can't figure out why, and we just sort of...
Did you figure out why?
We figured out why on the way back on that car trip, and I think the final video is almost exactly what we came up with in the car.
Yeah. I think it actually started with you doing the noise, and I thought that was really funny. Yeah, and then just like we were just laughing our heinies off.
You pitched it to me, and you're like, okay,
trust me, it's gonna be funny.
Just do this. Like you were afraid I was gonna say I hate that, but when you told me, I was like, yeah, let's do that.
You're just like, we have the dumbest idea, and we have to do it.
Yeah. It was good.
Yeah.
So that's how Joseph Touches a Grapefruit was born.
Yes.
All right, well, thank you guys for everything.
Thank you.
I have two quick questions.
Okay.
One, what's your favorite cartoon or TV show that you have watched?
I know what Noah's gonna say.
Oh, well, I don't know if I have a favorite. That's
like of all time or just right now.
I have a couple favorites. That's like having one specific favorite is really, really challenging. Yeah, I can make I'll make a short list real quick. I could say I really like Rugrats. I really like Rocko's Modern Life, Animaniacs. If we're talking modern, I like Steven Universe, Avatar: The Last Airbender, Gravity Falls, Phineas and Ferb. There's a lot of great stuff. Powerpuff Girls, Dexter's Lab, big fan of all those. So.
Yeah, Powerpuff Girls, Dexter's Lab, those are pretty much my favorites. And then Rocco was Nickelodeon, Ren and Stimpy when I was allowed to watch it.
I don't think I was ever allowed to watch it.
Yeah, I watched it when I wasn't supposed to, but
I'm pretty sure if I told my grandparents that I've seen The Simpsons now, they would still be like,
Yeah, I was straight up not allowed to watch The Simpsons.
Well, my grandmother
That was a
would.
good
My
show.
grandfather was like, I like that they teach family values by saying, don't be like these people.
Yeah.
any of the cartoon shows.
Yeah.
But I will say that the original Pokemon is the only cartoon that I've ever woken up at 7 a.m. to watch. Every weekend.
Yeah, Pokemon.
Yeah, Pokemon.
Yeah.
It was Hamtaro for me when I woke up.
Yeah.
And Hamtaro rules.
Little hamsters,
It's
big
much
adventures.
better.
Yeah.
Did you ask,
bro?
When we work together, it's much better. Yeah.
I guess favorite cartoon would be Tom and Jerry.
That's good.
It's a good choice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I like Tom and Jerry. Yeah.
And second question, how many pairs of pants do each of you own?
How many pairs of pants?
Yes.
0.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can't tell right now, technically.
That's true.
Yep.
Hey, I'm just wondering. I feel like this is a question probably everybody's has been wondering, but everybody's afraid to ask.
Oh my God. Sit down.
Sit down. Sit down. God.
The window was open for him to say it.
I knew it was coming.
Yep.
What's up?
Hey, so in Marble Hornets, one of the real highlights of the series for me, at least, was how well all the video glitch editing was done. And to my knowledge, there wasn't really a series that took heavy advantage of video errors in storytelling, I guess. And I just want to know, A, how'd you do it? And B, where'd you learn how to do it?
What was the second part?
How'd you do it, and where'd you learn how to do it?
Oh, where did I learn how to do it? I did all the editing for Marble Hornets. We had the video glitches were always a part of it for some reason. I don't know where that came from, other than I think it's
It
spooky.
actually started because we couldn't use audio, or we didn't want to use audio because we wanted to have this like hellish shriek
Oh,
or whatever.
yeah, yeah,
and then we
yeah.
decided to axe that.
Yeah.
So we had, okay, we need the audio to cut off, but we need to imply it is cutting off because the camera is messed up. So
Yeah. There
that's
needed
where
there
it
needed to
started.
be a visual indicator for it too, and that's where the glitch stuff came from.
Yep.
I learned to do it for myself by trying to break the editing software. Yeah, like the distortion noises and everything. By the way, when I was making that, I was deaf in my left ear, so it might have been a little loud for people.
Yeah.
It wasn't loud to me.
When your ear got better,
It was-
fixed.
Yeah.
I was like, Troy, go back and watch season 1.
It was pretty loud.
And apologize for what you've done.
Sorry, not sorry. I think I had one but like message one time from someone saying that their speakers were literally broken at one point because of it.
Nice.
And it's like, I'm sorry about that. Maybe there should be a disclaimer. I don't know.
Yeah.
R.I.P. ears or something. How I did it, it was just breaking the stuff. We originally made it on Sony, or I made it on Sony Vegas, which was like a consumer grade editing program that was like $40 at Best Buy. And we didn't swap over to another editing program until season 3. So it was pretty good.
Yeah.
It worked for a while.
Yeah.
Until
sort
it
of.
just stopped rendering
Until
videos for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was kind of the reason that you switched. Was
Yeah.
Because it just went, no.
Yeah, it's like, hey, that's a really nice video you edited together there. I don't think I'm gonna render it.
Oh, and it was the season 2 finale too,
Yep.
right?
Season
After you had announced when it was going to be up.
Yep. That was
So,
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
Maybe.
He was a trust fund baby.
Yeah. Jay was a trust fund baby.
He was loaded. That's something we never felt the need to explain because it wasn't important. But yeah. Yeah. Is that microphone still on?
I don't think so.
Okay. Yes, there was heavy inspiration from 2 things in particular for To the Ark, both of which are on YouTube. You can see them. One of which is probably pretty common for people to see. Was there's a time in 1980? What was the masthead thing? 80 something. It was like 89 or something like that. this guy in a Max Headroom mask interrupted Chicago television and was just doing weird stuff. It was weird. Just go on YouTube, type in Max Headroom intrusion incident, and it like actually happened, and it's never happened again.
And
no
they
one
never
knows
figured out who did it either.
They never figured out who did it. The weird atmosphere of that video, and then this other thing that's slightly lesser known called the Wyoming incident. It was kind of like a creepy pasta before those existed, I guess, of just like videos that had no explanation and no context and were very spooky, and that's kind of what I wanted to the arc to be. If you haven't seen either of those, watch them. They're pretty cool.
Did that come from Something Awful too, or is it
Yeah,
something
Yeah,
else?
it came from
Okay.
Something Awful too.
That was the one that they couldn't decide how to end it, so they ended it with "Twas all for boners."
Yep, that was that. Yep.
There was a.
Don't look into it. It'll be less good that way.
There were a lot of people that assumed we would do the same thing when
And
they found out we were from Something Awful.
Yeah, people were like, yeah, what if they just do the "Twas all for boners" thing?
Marble Hornets, thermal boners.
Thermal boners. It anagrams to thermal boners. Oops. But yeah, go watch those two things. They're pretty cool.
May I ask something else?
Quick.
Oh, okay.
We got a line.
We got a line, yeah.
Yeah. You mentioned that this was only supposed to last like a summer in the beginning.
Mhm.
Did you have it like originally cutting off earlier than it?
There was an
ended
actual.
up going?
There was going to be a really ambiguous ending
Okay.
originally.
Could you go into detail about more detail about that?
Jay was going to drive away from the operator, basically, and the operator was going to follow him, and then
it was going to be.
It was going to end.
Yeah.
Actually, now that I think about it, it's kind of similar to the actual ending, in that the ending said everything is fine at the end.
Yeah.
And the other ending we were going to do was just going to say, "I'm okay, don't look for me," or something like that. It's like that was going to be the end of it. So, but then people liked it, so we made more. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, so what would you have to say your favorite part of doing Marble Hornets was? Like, what did you like the best about it all?
This part.
Yeah. Yes. Meeting all of you guys.
Yeah.
Aw.
Studio audience, all. That and editing them was really fun all the time, despite pulling my hair out sometimes. Yeah, shooting them was always really stressful.
Yeah.
Sometimes really fun. Usually I wouldn't call it fun. I would call it work.
It's mostly our fault, though.
I don't know what that means.
Poor planning. Having to do it all on site in places that we definitely had permission to be in.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah. Yeah. What was your favorite part, Noah?
Watching it.
Okay, cool.
I like the
Good
boat-
answer.
I really enjoyed.
I like the boat
just
scene.
Whenever, like, just how it was kind of adventurous at times. Just like the guerrilla filmmaking aspect of it all. It was, in retrospect, it was a lot of fun doing it and doing things that way.
I think we need to, whatever the line is right now, that has to be it, and only one question, please.
Yes.
Yeah. Speed run.
Yes, speed run. Let's do it.
Because we have some cool stuff for you.
Okay, hi. So my question is also about To the Arc. There were videos on the channel before it was mentioned on the Marble Hornets channel, right? So like, oh, sorry.
Sort of. They were originally video responses back when YouTube had video responses be a thing.
'Cause, yeah,
but now they're not, so it's just kind of confusing.
Yeah. So my question was like, at what point was that conceived to be part of the plot? Like that there was another mysterious channel, like.
I don't know that I would ever call it part of the plot because we tried to make sure there was no.
It was
crucial
supplementary
data in the To the Arc things.
There was never going to be a like. The operator is really Alex. Was going to be a secret code in a To the Arc thing. Like that was something we were going to reveal. You know, I mean, not that that happened. That was something that we would have revealed. You know, later. But it was basically supplementary material. That was whatever puzzles would be in it. It would be you know, stuff that was just supplementary to the story. Yeah.
Right.
Because people always wanted Marble Hornets to be an ARG, even though it never was. So Troy's like, I'll make a puzzle and we'll see.
Yeah, I've never made a puzzle before. How hard can it be? And pretty hard.
All right, thanks.
Sorry to keep bugging you.
Hi.
Hi. So Troy and Joseph, you've been friends for so long. Did that cause, like, being enemies in Marble Hornets? Was that
a problem at all, or did you ever have any difficulties?
No, I
being
felt like I could
enemies?
be who I truly am inside.
There wasn't a whole lot of interaction that we did directly, was there?
Not a whole lot, except some sass back and forth.
Yeah, some sass, and then we actually had a small fight one time, and then other things.
And then you lost.
Yeah. Then I lost a fight with something that you threw at me. But yeah, it wasn't that hard. Wasn't that bad. Yeah.
Hi.
Hi.
Oh, is it working? Oh, there it is.
Yep.
Probably easy, yes or no. Slender the Arrival within the same canon or no?
No.
No?
No.
All right.
That's Slender Man.
All
We're
right,
operator.
noted. Yeah, we're operator. Yeah, we basically did that freelance style. That wasn't didn't have anything to do with us. Yeah.
Hi. So in Proper Pancakes, we see Troy reading a book called The Bibles and Flying Saucers.
Real book. He has it.
And in Troy Catches a Football, Tim is talking about Area 51 and aliens and all that crap.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
then the melting point of steel beams pops up. So my question is...
And chemtrails
Are
and
you-
Cookie Crisis.
Yeah.
Yes.
My question is, are you guys trying to tell us something that they don't want us to know?
We don't
ants-
know anything. We are wired. They nothing. It's jokes.
They're just jokes. The answers are out there.
Just goofing. Just goofing. Trust us. Listen.
They're listening.
It's the truth. Thank you.
Conspiracy theories rule.
To Noah and Troy and anybody else
Yes.
in your squad
Mhm.
who has tried out animation, what is your favorite thing to animate?
Oh.
Faces.
Faces, movements of limbs that are spastic and stretchy, and everyone is confused when I say this. I really like doing lip sync. Everyone looks at me like a deer in headlights, just why? It's so daunting. And I'm like, no, I can make faces and goofy shit.
Yeah, I like doing faces.
Yeah.
It's my favorite. Yeah.
It's a good time. Thank you.
I remembered the second question.
Okay.
Took me a bit. In your THAC channel, it is revealed so epically that Troy went to a film thing at a film college and was given a thingy that says, I'm a film person. Now, in part of writing Marble Hornets, was it at all inspired to make Alex Crayley a terrible
Yes.
filmmaker?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Alex Crayley is the worst TCF student
He's
in every
every
regard.
stereotype rolled into one.
Yeah, every negative thing about any film student ever is rolled into one with him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hey.
Just wondering if any of the Marble Hornets videos were influenced by like discussions on alternate forums at the time. Specifically, I know sometime in the early 20s, Jay visits the house and it goes from very light midday to completely dark. And there was a lot of discussion about whether there was time travel or not, at least in the particular forum I was at. And then directly after that came a video that seemed to be a response, but I just never knew for sure if you guys were aware of and
Yes.
guiding
Basically,
those
did we ever make story changes based on
Not so-
input from the fans?
Not so much changes, but if you tried to explain something in one video and then it didn't seem to catch on, did you?
Oh, I
reinforce
gotcha.
that
Yeah,
later?
Yeah, that happened every once in a
Mhm.
while.
Yeah.
We mentioned it last night at the commentary with the stick
pipe.
the pipe that people thought was a stick. So we straight up had you say the words pipe in text on the next video.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or people were making it in a funny way. People thought it was funny that I called the camera bag that Alex was carrying a satchel. And so in the next entry, we were like, it'd be really funny if he calls it a satchel, Alex. And Alex is like, oh, get out of my face.
Yeah, it's like, what's in the satchel? It's a camera bag.
And don't worry about it. Yeah. Every now and then we do little nods like that, and it was really fun to do that. Yeah.
Hi. So one of the most interesting things I found in Marble Hornets was the Arc videos. Just whenever one would come up, my friends and I would spend like hours just trying to like analyze every little detail. And how much of that was actually planned, like to have something related to Marble Hornets canon, and how much of it was meant to just be in there to look cool and kind of spooky?
There's still some things people haven't cracked.
Yeah. I would say 50-50, but I'm not. Like, how much of it was this looks cool, and how much of it was actual like puzzle things? I would 60-40, 60% being this looks cool.
It would sort of be like, okay, I have a cool idea for something that will look really cool.
What is it going to say?
What information are we going to sprinkle in there? Just sort of like, because you called me, because most of the To the Arc videos were done just by Troy, just be like, hey, I have a new one here, check it out. But one time he called me just like, hey, there's a bunch of TVs in the woods. You want to go make this video in the woods with all these TVs?
I hate to let people down, but we did not drag a bunch of TVs out into the woods. I'm sorry.
Yeah, there's just a pile of
There's
TVs
a pile of
out
TVs
there.
out there. Yeah.
It's like 10 of them.
Yeah. It's like, I don't know why they're out there, but
So we just put them to use, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
We recycled them.
Yeah, we recycled and destroyed one of them maybe to make that stop motion part.
Yeah.
Oops. Okay, so that was our last question. Would you guys like to see some new things? Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah. All right, we'll see you guys later.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bye everybody. We love you.